Okay, so hello, Annika. Thank you very much for joining. Annika Tont. She's a teacher, art teacher from Pelgulina School from Tallinn. I have met Annika in the Integrated Curriculum Teaching Global Competencies course in 2018. And now I have the pleasure to have her as a guest, a teacher guest in Coaching STEM. So this interview is together with an article, and we are setting the scene for how do we work in this in such a program as Coaching STEM. So Annika, welcome, and let's have some sharing from your experience with the students and art. How can art support our creative teaching and teaching with artifacts in this period of online learning, a lot of online learning and blended education?
Hi, everybody. As Andrea told, I'm an artist and I'm an art teacher, and I have a pleasure to teach art at school where we have more art lessons than normally, so I can be more free maybe, and maybe I can experiment more. But for me, actually, art is something which means experimenting, looking to the world with a new point of view, because art never can tell you the right answers, but art is for us to ask questions, and people feel differently about art. Some people like art which is very depictive, where you can find all kind of things you already know, and kind of get art is something to get really inside it, and to feel that in that moment when I'm doing some art, I'm totally concentrating only in my art creation. And I really hope to give this experience to my students also. Here at my home, I have put some pictures of myself, just to show you that I like to make some big aquarels. They are made very lately, and I also like to be in the nature. So I use those feelings and views and photos of nature I've done by myself to make later those aquarels to kind of catch the same feeling and to get inside this moment even more. And since now we really are in a difficult situation, we in Estonia, we also live in kind of mess that we cannot plan anything. Tomorrow you can get information that you must stay home at isolation, or your students cannot come to school. So these moments of mindfulness and concentrating on making some art are very valuable for me, because then I feel that I really live in this moment. What else? Also individuality of my students, because I try to teach them firstly some basic rules, some techniques, how to use your watercolors, how to use gouaches or oil paints, how to use three-dimensional forms. But after that, I expect that the idea comes from them, and I'm just giving them possibilities to go further and trying to, as I know more about art field, I'm trying to show them all kind of examples of real art world where they can find out that if I am on my road here, so I have possibilities to continue with my artwork to this side, or even the third side. So giving those possibilities, I hope it learns them be more independent and continue with their own ideas. And this is also one very important part of motivation, because if your students are doing all the tasks only because they want to get grades, so grades are kind of outside if they get motivation from inside, and if they feel that they are interested in what's going on, how to make their works better, and I'm just giving them examples and encouraging and trying to, whenever it's possible, then I try to draw by myself also in all the lessons, so they see that it's so good to do it, and that's my goal.
You mentioned that the problems and the days are unpredictable, and in the article and in Coaching with STEM, this is how we set the scene of so-called wicked problems. We allow the students to be fine and tolerate and look at different emotions whenever there is not just simply fixing problems, but wicked problems in which creativity is very much needed, because it's not predictable and it's not repetitive. And you showed us very good examples. Just before we leave our interview, I would like to ask you, you mentioned also the confidence of the students and their own self-learning or self-paced learning. How did you make space for students to be fine with failure or not being able to succeed in doing their tasks or their learning from the beginning? How do you support them?
Actually, I'm all the time telling that you should choose those techniques and tasks which you cannot do yet very well. Not just stay in those standards which, if you can draw anime faces very well, so try something else what you cannot do. And I really appreciate that our art lessons are just for failing and trying things you cannot do yet, to learn, because learning is it means making mistakes. And for me, I'm trying to give very different tasks randomly. So sometimes after very conceptual task, I just let them to feel free and give them this kind of tasks which I shared today also with you, which just are meant to get free of all you have learned and enjoy that you can and nothing can be wrong. They are kind of awakening tasks. And I really try to encourage my students that our lessons are meant to make mistakes. Making mistakes is very good. It means that I see that you are trying something else, not just the same things what you already know.
Thank you very much. This is very important. Indeed, Annika shared with me, and I will share with you. And I hope teachers and parents, why not? Anyone that is interested in coaching STEAM and using art techniques to support science learning, and not only, as Annika mentioned, learning also to let go, learning to be aware of your present moment, and how to tolerate and to make mistakes, because that's an exponential learning moment. I hope you will join our program, and I will share with you in the article the art that Annika sent us for this interview and for the program. Thank you very much, Annika, for joining.
Thank you all, and I hope I can encourage you also just to take some piece of paper. It can be whatever you catch, and to make some art or to make whatever comes on your mind. I can show you some tasks just in a moment. And also for me, all kind of sketchbooks are very useful, because I used to draw everyday meetings with my friends, with my family, all kind of things in my sketchbooks. And this is, I think, much better way than just making photos.